and that's our only measurement, then that means if that sun is going around faster, then that means our 24 hours is going around faster. If the 24 hours is going around faster, then not only is your day going by faster, thus why we keep saying there's not enough time in a day, and why society is moving faster than it ever has before. Again, we can talk about that a different time.
Mm-hmm.
Not only is your day moving faster, but then that means that guess what? Your week is moving faster, which means your month is moving faster.
Yeah.
Which means your seasons are moving faster.
Hmm.
Which means your year is moving faster. Quez.
So, how you feeling?
What it do, fam? What's on your mind?
What's on your mind? What we got going today?
Man. A lot to talk about, for real. There's a lot going on in the world.
A lot going on.
No, the first thing I actually I was in a chair in the barber shop. What was it, yesterday? I was, getting a little clean cut. Mm-hmm. And a guy next to me was kind of talking about his son.
Mm-hmm.
And his son had gotten a little trouble at school or whatever. He had some issues with, a couple of other kids. And I guess he got in a fight. He's bigger than all these other kids, had pushed another kid away or hit him or did something of the nature.
Mm-hmm.
And his dad was in there talking about it. He was like, yeah, I had to reason with my son and tell him, like, hey, they can't have that much control over you. You can't give them that type of control for you to be able to react in the manner that you did. And when I'm sitting in the chair, I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, I got to put myself in the kid's shoes, and I got to put myself like as in a parental shoe. Like, how do I go about this case? Because I know that's a big thing that happens. Do you discipline your kid for standing up for himself, or the other spectrum to that is okay, well, should you have given them that much control? So I'm like, the kid put his hands on me, I'm going to have to put my hands back on him. I got to let him know that that's just not okay. Okay, that's just how this is going to go. Especially if it's like, if not that my life would be in danger, but again, if it's boy to boy, even if it's a man to man, if a man goes and puts his hands on me, that he's putting his hands on me to conflict pain.
Right.
Or to assert himself in some type of dominant manner to make me feel inferior. We can't. No. That can't happen. Because at that point in time, like, survival kicks in.
Thank you.
You feel me? So, but on the other hand, I do know that if I don't feel like my life is being threatened, I'm not giving anybody that type of control.
Yeah.
You feel me? So if it's verbiage, right? If it's verbal, bro, you can call me whatever you feel like calling me. Like, it's gonna go in one ear and out the other. Like, we don't have to do this now. I do think that there's a line of disrespect.
There's something.
You feel me?
Yeah.
But it's like, all right, well, if I just don't want to hear what you're saying, I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna let you know, like, hey, like, this ain't.
Yeah.
You need to watch your mouth.
But as a kid, you feed into everything. Anything you hear is like, what you say?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. So that's. I was gonna ask you, how are you playing that? So we'll start with the son. Okay, that went to school.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the whole story was, I guess, this kid was hitting his leg. Now, again, these are elementary kids. Okay, so it's not like, they just out there throwing their hands up just to be throwing hands up. It's stupid shit. But again, apparently this kid was hitting his leg, and the son asked him, "Hey, stop hitting my leg," like 3 or 4 times. And then the kid and then the kid snapped.
That's different.
And then he snapped, right? And I apparently launched this kid across the room.
What? Nah, see, yeah, that's
So
uh
if somebody is hitting you 3 or 4 times and
ain't,
you have asked them to stop, what happens?
I got to lay a hand. But me, I grew up when I was little. I kind of grew up kind of fighting in a way, so it was just like I tell you, like, look, chill out, like I'm not on that. But they
Right.
keep doing something. It's like I have to at this point because you're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm like you're not respecting what I'm saying, so it's just like I ain't gonna lie, I got to lay him at that point. I got to.
I'm in the same boat.
You
I'm
feel
in
me?
the same boat. Like I'll be honest with you. Like I was a look at me the wrong way.
Oh, so you
I was one of those. Okay.
one of
I
those things.
bro, I didn't come down. I didn't calm down a lot
Fact.
from when I was I was angry when
What?
I was little. I was very angry and I was very troubled. So
Fact.
like I had a lot of pent up aggression. So it was on spot. Like if you looked at me the wrong way and I felt threatened,
Oh, you was on that.
oh man, what?
Fact. But you
Bro, I was,
there's a bigger energy too. So if somebody looking at you the wrong way, that's kind of like energy in the sense. Like, nigga, why you looking at me like that?
yeah, but I mean, like little kids don't know.
Yeah, fact, fact.
I'm taking the shit the wrong
Oh,
way.
so you just hot head, just hot head.
Bro, literally, like I'm just
Just
out there trying to fight just to be like, oh, I'm creating stories and shit.
oh,
You feel me? Like it really wasn't even that deep. There was only a couple of times where I felt like I actually had to defend myself.
oh wow.
Right. And where I actually felt the need where it was like in my, I guess, justification to say, all right, like I have to put pause on you.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean? But I was bullied a lot as a kid too. So when I felt it start to happen, that's when I was like, okay, I need to let everyone know
Yeah.
I'm not the one.
Facts.
You feel me? And I already had little man syndrome. So
You well yeah, I see it. Okay, I understand that. I understand.
he said, oh, okay, I know you. So I understand where
Yeah,
it come from.
fact, fact. So how would you handle it as a parent?
See, that's the tough question. That's the
It
toughest
is.
part.
It
One, I don't have kids. So let me condone that to everybody. I don't have
is.
kids, but I have been in multiple parental roles. Now, I would say that how I would justify it is if he put his hands on you,
Then
with anybody, like you liable to get paws back.
yeah, right.
I mean, it's just that simple because you can't, how do I put this? You can't expect for the person that is putting their hands on you to not have ill intent.
Right.
Right. So you don't know necessarily what the intent is. So if you assume that their intent is to hurt you because they are putting their hands on, like that, I don't feel like that's wrong. No matter what you're doing, you feel me? Especially after the third or fourth time.
Facts.
Like if my son came back home and was like, hey, this boy hit me 3 or 4 times and I threw his ass across the room.
Mm.
I may ask my son, why did it take him 3 or 4 times?
He won them.
You feel me? Like one time he done hit you in the leg and it's like, hey, bro, what you on?
Yeah, right.
The second time that you did that, oh no, you deserve pause now. I asked you one time that we don't do this.
One time it's all it take. I shouldn't have to.
You feel me? We don't do this. Now, if it's verbiage, that's when it's like, okay. See, that's even tough. Verbiage you should be able to walk away from.
Yeah.
But like I said, there's also a line of disrespect.
But I would tell, yeah, you're right.
There's also a line of disrespect. Like, and this is where I get with it. And I think that our society has become soft in this manner. I'll just call it what it is. I think that they have extremely become soft. Mm-hmm. So it's not okay to do things like that. There is that mechanism in our society. It is not okay to do things. Right. So I where I understand walking away and not letting it affect you, it's become a societal norm, and we have societal structures that prevent you from acting in a way to not let it happen again.
Thanks. Right.
Somebody calls you a name out in public and you strike them, you're in trouble.
Right.
Okay, but then this allows everybody to just be calling anybody anything at any given time.
Point.
Right? So we could all be out here assaulting one another and nobody could do shit about it.
Yeah, right.
Because the societal construct has said that if you react to verbiage or you react to dialogue in that manner, like you going to jail.
Right.
Okay. So now, not everybody has ill intent. So not everybody is out here doing this. I completely understand that. But if we also knew, so this is where I'm going to take a deep dive. You know me, I'm going to find a way to go down these rabbit holes. So this is where we also don't understand that words and language carry vibration.
Uh-oh.
Right? So you could curse me with what you say. And you could literally be directing it to me.
Yeah, facts though. That's it. Yeah.
Based off of whatever is going on in your head. Right? So that to me is just as ill intent as you putting your hands on me, if not worse.
I can see that. Yeah. Yeah. If not worse, right. Because you're sent like, yeah. Right.
But our society has said that we see physical more than we will see something that comes out of our mouths.
And that's really, that's powerful in a sense. It's real powerful. Because you can say something like that, yeah. But you think that's why people feel a certain way when somebody do say something they don't like, you know? Like, it's like...
I mean, I think our society is all over the place with it. Because there's nothing that's set in stone, right? Like, again, there's derogatory words that we can call each other, you know, whether it be race or ethnicity or, you know, demeaning, making somebody feel inferior, whatever those little things may be.
Yeah.
Okay. There's those factors, but it's been proven that if you say certain words to certain people, they will come off as a lower vibration, you know, like if I mean, it's literally been proven. You know, I used to do little exercises with the teams that I used to coach.
Mm-hmm.
And when somebody gets mad and they start putting somebody down and is like, oh, well, you a piece of shit because you didn't get the first down for us, regardless of even how that athlete reacts. Like if he's like, all right, bro, like I'm not even about to pay attention to him. There's a vibration, like his body is listening. That goes in through his body. And then now he is producing or produced of whatever that is, unless he's in tune with himself to just be like, yeah, like that ain't even a thing.
Yeah, facts.
Right? And you see this happen all the time in sports.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to if you come off and is like, hey, bro, don't worry about it. Okay? We have another first down to get. Like, we're going to get this ball back.
Right.
I need you to forget about that. We all mess up. We all make mistakes. You're still my brother. You're still my teammate. I'm still going to look to you to make certain type of plays on the field. Right? Like even me just telling you that it's registering. Oh, okay.
Next play.
It's positive.
I bet.
You see what I mean? So going back, wrapping that full circle, like I said, it carries weight. It carries a certain type of frequency and vibration to it when you're speaking to somebody else and you're using words.
Facts.
This is why we call it spelling, because you're casting spells.
So do you think when somebody says something, they should put their hands on them? It depends on what they're saying. Do you think they should? Do you think that's right in the? It's hard.
It's super hard because, like I said, of how our society is set up. Okay, it's hard because of how our society is set up. Now, the best thing to all this is just be in tune with you.
Right.
If you can be in tune with oneself, you can take whatever vibration or whatever frequency is being emitted through you, and you can shapeshift it to however you want to shapeshift it. Like that is a thing. That's a real thing.
Right.
That's a real thing. Okay. Just like we can break down food, right, and disperse it through our body, we can do the same thing with different vibrations and frequencies. Like we're modulators, and at the end of the sense. Right. Like we have the capability to do that. But the issue is does individuals have or know the know-how to do so?
So, nah.
You see what I mean? So now we're talking about 98 to 99% of the population
Thank that real high.
Okay, that don't know how to filter frequency and don't know how to filter vibration. So they have to react towards some type of violence. Physical violence, I should say, because you could have verbal violence.
Yeah.
Right? But physical violence. You said what?
It's the only type of violence? Physical, verbal.
Oh, man, what?
You can go on?
Everything is violent. Everything is violent. You wouldn't be here if there wasn't violence. Everything is violent. Yeah, everything has to be violent.
Heard that.
Okay, well, all right. We'll let's go. Let's go with it. When you go to run, is that not violent?
Yeah.
That's an extremely violent
thing. That's what I'm thinking. That's how I look at
on the macro and the micro level, that is an extremely violent thing to do.
Yeah.
One, you got to put a certain amount of force into the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, to project yourself forward. Two, you have to break down. See, look, now you're going to get my nerd coming out. Now you got to break down ATP in the body, which literally is a molecule that is being broken apart to create a certain spark inside of the body in order for the muscle to do what it does. Well, the last time I checked, anything that's being broken apart is violent.
So what's not violent then?
What's not violent?
What's not violent? Would you say sleeping is violent?
Sleeping can be violent.
In what sense?
Okay, well, if you go to sleep, sleep is the closest thing to death.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so as violently as you can be alive, you can violently shut down.
Yeah. what would you say is not violent? Something that's not violent.
Well, that's a good one.
Because almost everything
has some type of violence to it.
Yeah, facts.
Right? Like we see violent as ill will. Violent is just something that's abrupt. Something that holds magnitude. Right? Like we can't label violent as bad or good. It's needed. You know what I mean? It's needed in both senses. It's needed for action and reaction. It's needed for excitation and for the opposite of excitation, right? Like whatever, the calming down of things.
Yeah, right.
It's needed. It's just needed. I don't know that.
Is it?
You could say peace. Anything that is so how would I describe peaceful?
Non-violent affirmations?
Not right. Like non-violent would be very smooth. It would be it would be less reactive. If we want to put violent as reaction. Okay, and then non-violent or less of violent as something that is not as reactive.
Right. Okay.
I think that's the best way that I can put and define violence.
Right.
Or what's not violent.
Facts.
Right? So something that would be not violent or not as reactive would be something that is of peace. Or something that is in tuned.
So
right.
What's up? Could a person like say something like me personally? I might feel like this isn't violent and this is violent. But is that like is I say that because is it like a law or something where
it's subjective?
Okay.
Yeah, it's your own personal experience. It's extremely subjective. Yeah, extremely subjective.
Okay.
Right. So, and I guess that's the whole thing of what we get at too. As a society, we have made societal constructs that don't fit everything and everyone. They never will because they're societal made. They're man-made. right? So it's being made from man, which is a subjective outlook on what everyone else should be doing.
Facts. It is, yeah.
What we should be going by is natural law. Okay, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Cause and effect. Law of duality. Okay, so the go around, come around type of deal, right? If you start diving into karma and you understand what karma is and this, that, and the third, like karma is the subjective reading of what is happening in your reality. Meaning this, I'll use this example. Okay, you're a mother or a father, because I was raised by a single father. Whatever, okay? You're a single parent, okay? And you're struggling to feed your kids. You ain't got no money to feed your kids. So you go to the store and you shoplift. You go get you some food. Okay, can of SpaghettiOs, I don't, something you could just, slip into the pants. I'm saying it. I don't got no experience in this. Anyways, I'm not saying that I've ever taken anything in my life, but out of survival. Nah,
right.
we true story though. I'll get back to that. But no, true story. We used to go to Kroger. Kroger is like Fry's and Publix. I don't give or take what part of the country you in, but it's all one big branch. But anyway, Kroger's is in the Midwest. So me and my boy used to go in there, and the bake lady always used to put these cookies out that nobody bought from like the day before, whatever it was. They was like the soft icing cookies.
Like with the color. They had color.
Man, yes.
I know.
Yes. Yep. But anyway, she used to put those out for us every single day. And they was free. They was free cookies. She used to just put them out there, and she was like, "Oh yeah, if y'all want those, go ahead and take them." Man, me and my boys would go in there and smash on about, I'm not kidding you, bro, 8, 10, 12 cookies.
They was addicting. I had them too.
Man, bro, that was the only thing that we ate that day.
But them cookies used to be good. Eat the whole.
Hey, it was all the sugar that we needed.
Yeah.
It was all the sugar that we needed.
Did they come in the little boxes, like little clear?
Yep.
I know.
Yep.
The whole thing gone,
bro. The whole thing, bro. We had hookups everywhere, everywhere, bro. But McDonald's, one of the homie sisters worked at Burger King as a manager, so we was always in there getting free food.
Food fast,
bro.
Fast.
Man, what, bro? We had the hookups anywhere.
Make a way,
but
young. Real.
But anyways, getting back to the scenario. If you a single parent and you got kids to feed, and you go into a store and you shoplift, okay, that looks different than if you go in there and shoplift for the greed of it.
No,
because of what your intent is.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the issue. Nature will tell you it's worried about your intention. Okay, your karma behind it. Did you go and steal for greed, or did you go and steal for the necessity of needing to survive?
The needs, yeah.
Your karma is different with both of those actions. Our law, okay, I guess what you would call our social constructs, will tell you that both of are of equal consequence. So
no good and bad? No.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
It'll tell you it doesn't matter what the intent is. Facts. Stealing is stealing.
Stealing. Facts.
Regardless of what your intent was, stealing is stealing. Now we can dive down a whole deeper rabbit hole, right? Like, oh well, I had to rob a bank, right? Because my kids were hungry. It's like, no, you didn't really have to go rob the bank because your kids was hungry. Like, you just defaulted to that setting of like, this was my only way, and that wasn't really your only way.
All right.
You know what I mean? Which you could probably say the same thing for, going in there and thefting a can of SpaghettiOs. Maybe that wasn't your only way. Okay. We don't know that, but what I'm getting at is you see how one subjective person, like even my subjective thought, is saying this is good or bad.
Right.
You can't do that for all of society. And you can't do that for everything. There's your outliers, of course. Okay. And there's things that we can agree upon to keep, I guess, what you would call the safety of the individual intact. But even to that, can we really keep everybody safe? Is it our duty to keep everybody safe?
Mm-mm.
You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we have a subjective reasoning, okay, that we're trying to make objective, and it doesn't fit.
Yeah. Nah. Mm-mm.
Right, which goes with what we talked about, our social constructs. If we followed universal law, to be honest with you, nobody would even think about robbing a bank.
That's not realistic though. The follow. You think us as humans go like it's always gonna be somebody out here that's gonna just like be reckless or do whatever.
Well, I think this is what we're moving towards. I think that people are starting to realize that whatever law is being presented in front of them doesn't work. I think people are going to be enlightened to the fact that their government, right, govern men, control men, doesn't work.
That's facts. That's facts.
And it never has.
Yeah.
It's just been masked, right? It's been band-aided over. But we're at a point now where, again, our economics are not good.
Nah.
Worldwide, they're not good, right? Our society, in terms of how we treat each other, if you look back in history, has never really been great. Right? But we've also been manipulated to think that this physical is the end all be all. We've been manipulated to think that everybody has got to go and get theirs right now because this is the only life that they're ever going to live and ever going to experience, and X, Y, and Z. Like this is what has been perceived by the subject.
Right.
Right. So by default, they're like, well, yeah, I got to do this because my time is limited. But time is a subjective construct.
No, it ain't real.
You see what I mean? It's just something that we can measure, that we can put in front of us to say, okay, we're here.
Right.
To let us know that we're somewhere.
Thank you.
So that we don't feel like we're everywhere.
This month, next year, nah.
You see what I mean? That's all that we're doing. That's it. That's all time is. That's why, somebody can say, oh, well, I'm 30 years old. Sure. That's how you want to calculate yourself. Right. But we don't know how fast we spinning around the sun.
Facts. And that'd be crazy because how can they just say, oh, it's 11 o'clock right now, but we're going to push it back to 10 or we're going to push it back to 9, 8.
So
what?
I heard something, seen something the other day, and it's not like I didn't know, but it smacked me in my face. It's not like I didn't notice, but it smacked me in my face. If we had perfect time zones,
I
think there would be 15.
15.
Am I doing math right? So 24 times 15, 360. I am doing my math right.
Okay.
Okay. So we would have 15 perfect time zones. Okay. The time zones near the equator would be the farthest from each other.
Right.
As you move north of what we're calling north from the equator, or moving south of what we're calling from the equator, the time zones would get smaller because they're all converging onto one point.
Facts.
So that means if you got to the North Pole, or what they're calling the North Pole, right? That means there would be no time zone. There would be one time zone. And the sun technically would never set. Or there'd be times where like literally it would just be up, which that is the case, right? It's just up all the time, and there's times where it's just dark all the time.
Facts.
But there's one time zone. At the point of it, there's one time zone. And if not, you can just circle those time zones as much as you want.
Right.
Okay. So if that's the case, and the sun is doing this, because we know that at the ball, if the Earth is truly spherical, okay, it would take longer for the sun to go around the equator than what it would if it was at the top of the bottom of the poles.
Come on, bro. Come on.
We're talking about time.
Time,
So
bro.
we can't discount this. We're talking about time. So if time zone is the farthest at the equator, then that means at the equator, you would age slower.
Right.
Because it would take longer for the sun to go around the equator. Okay? So the more north that you are and the more south that you are would mean that you would go around, or the sun would go around quicker, which would mean you would be older. But yet, everyone follows the same days. Everybody follows that there's 24 hours in a day. Everybody, for the most part, follows the same months and how many days are in those months. But yet time is not created equally.
That's the crazy part.
Okay, let's make it deeper. What I really heard, okay, after doing all of that kind of like measuring in my head, right? Measuring in my head. Time zones are not perfect. They got jagged edges in them, and some go to this state and some go to that state, and some, veer across this country. And time zones are political. That means man created time zones. Right. Time zones do not exist. They're political. So just like you have government, you have time zones. Just like you have laws, you have time zones. But nobody thinks about it that way.
Never did. You just opened my mind.
Right? Like, think about it. We've got, 4 time zones in the U.S., right?
Yeah.
Ain't none of them straight.
No.
Ain't none of them do just like this. None of them. Right? Your Eastern time zone goes as what? Far west is Indiana, if I'm not mistaken? Because you in the Eastern time zone right now, right?
East, yeah.
Okay, but you would be, because, yeah, you're on the coast. But literally, bro.
Yeah.
Ohio is west of Pennsylvania, and it is in the Eastern time zone.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that is crazy. What?
I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, Indiana may be in the Central time zone. Maybe. I'd have to check. It's all really kind of irrelevant when you're thinking about the time zones, though. It's all kind of irrelevant.
Facts.
Okay, because you can go. So here's another crazy part. New Mexico is in Mountain time zone. Texas is in Central time zone. Arizona says it's Mountain. Right now is Pacific time.
And
that's why we're 3 hours behind you.
And how far it takes us from
one state? We're talking one state over. So 400 miles maybe.
And they base the same time zone as me?
No, they're in Central. Texas is Central. But now I think Texas has a split time zone, if I'm not mistaken, give or take where you are in Texas.
Right. That's okay, facts. Right. Yeah.
How though? If it's political, you would follow borders. So you see how it's more confusing. And then the whole daylight savings time, like go up an hour, back an hour, the whole leap year. What the fuck is a leap year? And they say it's because of the calculation of a quarter of a day that is making up for. Get the fuck out of here.
You just make it.
You literally just making shit up.
Stuff. You just saying something. Like what? All right.
I'll give you another one. Here goes another one on time. Here goes another one on time that people don't think about. Here goes another one on time. All right. Are we more healthy or less healthy than we have ever been as a people?
I say less.
Less.
Yeah.
Right? There's more cancer. There's more diabetes. There's more heart disease.
All that.
Everything.
All that.
Everything. Our eating habits are awful.
All yes.
Right? So you agree that we are less healthier now than we have ever been.
Right.
Why is the life expectancy still going up? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Life expectancy is going up, but we're less healthy. Well, the last time that I correlated, if you're less healthy, the life expectancy goes down, especially with the diseases that are going around.
I didn't know it was going up though, honestly.
Yeah, it's going up. It's like at 74 or something. Matter of fact, we got it. I'll pull it up for you. Life expectancy. Let's see it. Life expectancy. You know what? I should share this, huh?
You should.
Yeah, let me share this real quick. Because we're going to say some bullshit. And I know this is just the first little thing, and I could do all my other research and X, Y, and Z and da-da-da-da-da. But for the most part, we just type it into Google real quick. Okay, this is to get y'all thinking, just to really get y'all thinking about some stuff. And of course, they got to, before I even read this, they got to have the COVID in there. Okay, life expectancy in the United States is 77.5 years for both sexes, 74.8 years for males, and 80.2 years for females. However, life expectancy varies widely in the U.S. and is lower than the average for comparable countries.
It's
okay.
how though?
Right. Okay, hold on. Okay, then let's just do this. Then life expectancy, at 1980. So we remember these, right? We said 80.2 for females or something, 77 for the total. Yep. Okay, here we go right here. So let's just remember this: 77 and a half. Okay. 75 for males, 80 for females. Life expectancy at 1980. 73.7. This was a significant increase from 1970 when life expectancy was 70.8.
What?
Globally, life expectancy also increased from 1980 to 2015 from 61.7 years to 71.8 years. Okay, but it just told us
Yeah,
that the United States was lower in comparison to the rest of the world. But globally, it has increased to 72 years. Okay. Let's go by the decade. There we go again. 71.8.
Dang.
78. That's still less.
Still less.
Ooh, look at this shit.
Chill.
What? I wonder why. Hold on, let's just keep going. I'm just letting everybody see this. I'm letting everybody see it. Come on, Quez. In 2000, life expectancy in the United States was 76.9 years at birth. 0.2 year increase from 99. The increase was seen in both males and females. Life expectancy in the United States increased by 2.3 years between 2000 and 2019, reaching 79.1 years.
Is this how? Like, what?
Life expectancy in countries range from 64.5 to 91.7 years old. Latino, Hispanics, and Asian populations had the longest life expectancy at the national level. Varied by country, and they always got to bring up fucking COVID. Why? Like we haven't had the bird flu. Like we haven't had the swine flu. Like we haven't had flu. Like we haven't had cancer. Like we haven't had diabetes, right? Like it's painting the narrative. But this is still less than what? What do we talk? What do we say?
75, 70.
Projected to be 73.33 years globally. The United States life expectancy in 2024 is expected to be 79.2. Like, it's increasing. It literally tells you it's increasing. How? When our numbers health-wise
Are they?
They're horrible.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. How? Like how?
Obesity in 2024. Over 1 billion people.
And it's we didn't do this episode, but that was an unpopular opinion. That is healthy. That is okay.
Okay, obesity rate in the United States in 2024 is around 40% for adults, which is the first time in over a decade that the rate has not increased. Oh, it hasn't increased. Oh, what are we doing? All right. I mean, it's 40%.
40% is for adults. That's just adults.
That's just adults.
Yeah, that's just adults.
But yet, life expectancy is still going up.
How?
Okay, okay, all right. Well, for those who are like, oh, well, that's just well, let's check the obesity in 2000. Let's see if it was down. Prevalent increase from 30 to 42.4.
From when? From like
99 to 2000.
Okay. What? Oh, 5%? In 1 year?
Okay. 2010. Obesity. The obesity rate in the United States was 35.7 for adults. So in 2024, it went up, correct?
Right.
Because we've seen 40.
40, yeah.
Okay. But remember, there was an increase in life expectancy from 2010 to now. But we're fatter than we ever were. Okay, so let's just bring this back. Now that I showed that, okay, let's bring this back. Time. How are we more unhealthy? And again, we didn't go into cancer. We didn't go into diabetes. We didn't go into none of that. People at home could do their own research on that, and I promise everything is increased. Honestly, you probably don't even need to do research to know that it's increased. Everybody done known everybody that's had cancer. I mean, it's just what it's been now. Then on top of that, if you follow the money trail, you understand why. Like, pharmaceuticals and the medical industry is $1 trillion business.
Crazy.
I said too much, right? Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, probably said
Crazy.
too much. Cat's out the bag. Like, but we know that.
Thank you. It's right here.
We know that. Okay, so if it's a business, of course they're going to make people fatter. But it goes back to my point about time. How in the hell are we becoming more unhealthy with more crazy-ass diseases and more prevalent-ass diseases, okay, that could be terminal, but the life expectancy is going up?
No, thank you.
Make it make sense. Okay, well, we have the technology to do X, Y, and Z now. Sure. Okay, radiation. Last time that I checked, chemo radiation actually destroys the body.
Facts.
That's a great piece of technology.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Okay, we all know about Western medicine. Let's not discount it. We know about Western medicine, and we know about what Western medicine does. Western medicine is a Band-Aid. It's not a cure for anything. They got to keep you coming back. When you get into the medical industry, guess what? You a client. You a consumer at that point.
Thank you.
They know they going to keep your business.
Every time something wrong, I got
every time something wrong. Bro, literally, doctors are trained to find things wrong with you when you go into the hospital. Even if there's nothing wrong with they will literally mind fuck you. And then they'll be like, oh, yeah, you got odontocolopsis.
Thank you. Nigga,
what did you just say that I had?
What is that? Well, what?
You could have just said, "Hey, go take a shit. You're gonna be okay."
And
Or go fast. Don't eat for 24 hours and see what
you
happens.
be good.
Come on, man. But yet,
Go take this. Then you be like, oh, this not working. Oh, I got something else for you.
oh, I got something else for you. That's Western medicine. But like I said, time. How are we getting older? When we're more sick, when we're more unhealthy. I shouldn't even say the word sick, right? We're just more unhealthy.
Unhealthy, yeah.
It doesn't make sense. So my prediction on this, okay, my process and idea on this is that what we know as time is moving faster. So that means, and again, we could have a different type of subject. I ain't going to go down there today. I got to ease the people into this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got to ease them into this one. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever you believe in, okay, I'll stick with it at that. Whatever you believe in, rather the sun is going around the earth or the earth is going around the sun. Okay, that's not what we're arguing today. It's not what we're debating about today. I know that there are plenty of arguments to both sides.
Thanks.
To be honest with you, I could care less. Okay, whichever that you believe in, that means one or the other is going faster. Prime example. We can say it's 24 hours all we want, but how do we measure 24 hours? Sun comes up, sun goes down. There's 12 at least. Okay, the moon comes up, moon comes down. There's another 12. There's 24, right? So we have night and day. This is how we measure the sun, 24 hours.
Right.
Okay, or we measure time within a 24-hour span.
Yeah.
Okay. If we don't necessarily know internally what 24 hours is, and that's our only measurement, then that means if that sun is going around faster, then that means our 24 hours is going around faster. If the 24 hours is going around faster, then not only is your day going by faster, thus why we keep saying there's not enough time in a day, and why society is moving faster than it ever has before. Again, we can talk about that a different time. Not only is your day moving faster, but then that means that guess what? Your week is moving faster, which means your month is moving faster.
Yeah.
Which means your seasons are moving faster. Which means your year is moving faster.